Hello and good night. Wanted to make another MGTOW Retirement video. This is going to be more on the emotional side, the intangible side, the non-financial, non-tangible side. So I just want to talk about two main topics here. I don't plan on holding you too long. First, invest in your kids. Teach your kids about investing. So last week, or this past week, I actually spent quite a bit of time on the phone with my nephew, who's actually in the Army. He is 19 going on 20 this coming July. He'll be 20, which is kind of crazy because he used to change that kid's diaper. That's wild, bro. But it also shows that you're getting old. You know, when the young ones get older, that means you're getting older. So it's a really good thing altogether, and he's turning out to be just amazing, really just amazing. You know, he listens. We beat him enough when he was a child, so that worked out good for him, I guess. But all jokes aside, he's turning out to be somebody that is listening to the wisdom from his elders, listening to people around him, and then also learning from the mistakes of others. My mistakes, his mother's mistakes, his father's father mistakes, you know, and other people around him. When I say his father, I mean, you know, I'm sure he does have some reflection on that, but I raised him for a good amount of time where he was just like pretty much under my care, along with myself and my mother raised him, just to be totally honest about that. So now he's starting to see some of the things that he can do at the age, like he's at the banking age where he can actually go and do a bank account and all types of other stuff, you know. So I'm trying to show him ways to actually make money without actually trying to be, without actually have to actively do something for it. So for instance, he doesn't have to go to work in a sense. He just has to make decent and prudent decisions. He has to look at what he's making and then budget accordingly, save, which he's done masterfully, like just beautifully. Like this is where I see that the things that his mother's taught him and what I've taught him as well has really worked out. And I just love seeing what he's doing in that part. If anything, in terms of the Dave Ramsey baby steps, he's done baby step number one far, and he's really done it. He's really done a good job at it, because I can't come up with better words. So we spent time and we opened up a Roth IRA for him. We also opened up a general investing account for him. He went ahead and funded the Roth IRA and opened that up. And then he also went ahead and opened up a account on Coinbase.com. So part of the things that I did was work with him in terms of, let me get rid of this. Sorry. Part of the things I did was work with him and actually make a portfolio for him. I'll actually put that in the comment section, or sorry, in the description of this video. And what I did is I went through and looked at my top earners that I've actually done very well with over the past year. So with that being, with that track record, I saw what were some of my top earners. Also, I took into account, as I say, you know, if you're not taking my advice with a grain of salt, or even taking past performance with a grain of salt, that means you're low on sodium. You need to take this stuff with a grain of salt. You need to actually do some research, and you need to also be conservative in your estimates or in your speculations. So what I did is I looked at some of the stocks and I said, okay, well, I think these are really good stocks, and I think these are stocks that are actually going to do very well into the future. Also, these are stocks that in some cases were, and there were a couple of risky bets as well, and we put those at lower percentage in terms of what it was taking up in his portfolio, in terms of like percentage in terms of importance. There we go. So the general investment portfolio, he hasn't really done much with it. I'm not sure what he's going to do with that right now. But what I told him is watch what's going on in the market. You put a little bit of money in, he kind of dipped his toe in, nothing too serious. I really like that he did that. I was kind of telling him to go a little bit deeper, but I said, hey, listen, this is your investment portfolio. This is something that you have to look over, and that's something that you have to find the importance in, and then you could actually see the importance in over time. So I was very proud in terms of him making prudent decisions and saying, hey, listen, I don't want to put that much money in right now, Uncle Mike. We'll see where it can go from there. I said, okay, no problem. This is not something that I'm going to be watching for him or taking, getting his passwords or anything like that. I made sure that he set up the proper security and things like that. So showing your kids, showing those around you, your nephews, in my case, showing siblings or anybody else around you how to do these things, how to make themselves money while they're not actually actively working on it. So they can actually have these stocks, put a little bit of money in over a period of time, and then start doing things to actually make improvements on their lives. Also start doing things in terms of the outlook of their life, in terms of like, hey, I want to do this in the future. What do I need to have in place? And if we can do these things to actually improve those around us, it can actually improve our lives going into retirement. Now, I understand this sounds like I'm just using my nephew. No, I just don't want to have to worry about him. I also don't want to have to give him money, especially if I don't have a lot. I don't mind giving my nephew money or anything like that. He's a good dude, and I think he actually, honestly, he probably wouldn't ask me for it. He just doesn't seem like that type of kid. Anything can happen. You never know. But at the same time, even if it was to if it was to come to that, I do have to help him out in some way, shape, or form. That one, I'd be in a better position. Two, he'd be in a better position mentally, and always thinking about ways that he can make money. He could say, hey, listen, that stock market stuff that we looked at before, I want to try and do that again. Also, he's actually made other moves that I found very impressive, and I'm just really proud of, because you're starting to see that this person, not only do they have their own personality, but they have their own goals. They have their own desires, wishes, what have you, like that they're actually working towards. And I try to help them and put them on the right path and get them in the right direction. So that's a very important thing, because those things can help you. Now, for instance, if you had a child that was in their 30s and they always needed help, next thing you know, you're dipping into your 401k, your Roth IRA, your savings accounts, so on and so forth. And then at the end of it, your kid has gone off, and maybe they're still in a bad position. Maybe they actually figured it out. But at the end of the day, you still don't have that money anymore. It's not growing for you. You're not getting any younger. You can't work multiple jobs, have work overtime and extra hours. You can't do that anymore. You have to watch yourself. You have to watch your health. So make sure that you actually help your kids and put them in a better position so they can help them damn selves. All right, last thing, invest in your community. This goes into a little bit what I was talking about. If it's not your direct kid, if it's not your direct bloodline or sibling or anybody else, then help with other people in your community. I'm part of a small circle of men that we talk to in group chats. I have various group chats and people that I talk to between WhatsApp and Telegram, that I always do things like put in investment videos. Besides the usual MGTOW stuff, besides the breakdown of female nature and behavior and stuff like that, who gives a fuck? Let's do things that can actually help our community. If you have a piece of software that another brother can use, go ahead and give it to him. If you have some information that you might find or you might think that brother might find actually beneficial or actionable intel, go ahead and give it to him. Don't do things to actually charge them in a sense or make it hard for them to get that information. Share that information freely. This is your community. These are people that are helping you in one way, shape, or form. So do things to actually help others in terms of making your community better, if not making your actual peer group better so they can assist you in some way, shape, or form. We're human beings. We use each other, not in a bad way, but we use each other to make sure that we can actually go through this life. It's something that we've, as human beings, gotten away from the nuclear family structure or the extended family structure, in terms of not being able to rely on that grandparent or that grandparent's, investments or something like that. Hey, oh, Nana died or something like that, and maybe they left you something. Well, that's that person giving back to their community, aka their family. So that's a very important thing. Now, we don't do these things in terms of helping others just so we can get something out of it. But at the same time, we do actually get some rewards because of it in one way, shape, or form. Sometimes it's just as simple as getting a recommendation from someone that you love and that loves you. And then they say, hey, listen, I want to try and help you the best I can. I can't get you the job, but I can at least put you in front of the person that can hire you. And that's very important. That's actually why I'm in the current position that I am now. My former business partner, he saw that I was really going through it. I was really having a hard time. This is when I was running the salon back in Miami, and things just weren't going well, especially with COVID hitting a couple months later. But he was able to get me in a position to actually go ahead and get a job. I got a day job with him, then coupled that with the income that I was making with my night job, and then I had to give up a couple things. But now I'm actually living in a nice home, what I believe to be a nice home in Georgia, on a nice piece of property. I mean, I walk around. Today I went out back and I, put up some targets and I went shooting. I walked around the property twice. That's about a mile. I enjoy the scenery and everything like that, and I'm just loving where I'm at actually right now in life. Now, some things are a little bit to be desired, but at the same time, I'm able to focus more. I'm able to do more. I'm able to do more in terms of putting out content. I'm able to do more in terms of, not that I put out a lot, but I'm able to do more in terms of helping out people in a local community by just saying, hey, listen, I need you to come wash my house. I need you to do a couple odds and ends and little jobs in the home. And that's a very important thing. So, as I said, this video, we're at 11 minutes now, or almost 12 minutes, but I wanted to get this information out there and just say the first thing, help out your kids, help out the people that are close to you, people that are in your bloodline. If they're willing to actually learn, then help them. If they're not, then to be honest, fuck them. Like, it is what it is. And then go on and help out your community in some way, shape, or form. This is a very important part of your retirement. If you plan on being a MGTOW monk, I understand. You think you're on an island. You think you're an individual. All that individual shit goes out the window when you fall down the stairs, and there's nobody there to help you. Your phone is across the house. You're in absolute pain. What are you going to do? So, not that I'm in a better position. I'm here by my damn self. But so it's good to have somebody that can actually help you, especially later on in your life. As I said, this is a non-financial video. This is a more of emotional video. And I know some guys don't really like that. But it is what it is. And I want to make sure I get this out there because this part of the message is also important. As always, thanks for listening. And I really do appreciate you.